12th, the year of our Lord 2023. Here we are. But tax time's coming. Here's the question I get almost every day now. Is like, can you do my tax returns? They're due by April 18th. We had a deadline here in my office about when they were due. That's what we're going to talk about today. Won't you join us? I was going to have an introduction. No introduction. Let's go right into it. So, again, the most common question I'm getting these days is, can you finish my tax return on time? Well, if you call someone that's a reputable company and you haven't found someone to do your tax return and you need someone to do your tax return, they're probably booked, right? My advice is, if they're not booked, watch out, right? Because they're probably not the best. Maybe they're new or something, whatever. But any reputable company is going to be booked. They have the tax returns done. I would still take tax returns, but I never could promise that they would be done on time, because I'd be throwing them to my tax preparers and accountants like at the last second, and they wouldn't like it very, very much. But having said that, so then the question comes, well, can I get an extension? Well, the answer is yeah, you can get an extension. And so that's what we're going to talk a little bit about how to get an extension. Fairly straightforward. Let's talk a little bit about the tax date. Tax date this year is April 18th. Yeah, I know. It's usually April 15th. But here's the thing. On April 15th, if the due date, and this kind of goes for most legal matters, if you're in court, certainly tax matters, if you have some sort of deadline and that deadline date falls on a Saturday, Sunday, or legal holiday, it'll push to the next day that is not a Saturday, Sunday, or legal holiday. So this year, tax day falls on April 15th, which is Saturday. Well, Saturdays, it goes to the next day, Sunday. That's Sunday. The next day is Monday. And they say, well, that's the 17th, Attorney Leahy. Why isn't it the 17th? Well, a legal holiday is defined in tax purposes as any holiday that's recognized in Washington, D.C. And in Washington, D.C., they recognize Emancipation Day on April 16th. Well, April 16th is a Sunday. If their rules are, if Emancipation Day falls on a weekend, then it's the next closest non-weekend day. So if it falls on Sunday, like it does this year, it goes to Monday. If last year it fell on Saturday, then they recognized Emancipation Day on the day before, on April 15th, then last Friday. And then that was a holiday again for tax purposes, pushed it to the next Monday, which was the 17th. It was 15, 16, the 18th again. So that's how it works. When you ask for an extension this year, it's going to push it usually pushes it to October 15th. October 15th is a Sunday, so it's going to push it to the next day, October 16th. That's when your extension will bring you. Now, here let's go to look at the extension. See if I can pull this up very quickly. And pretty sure I can. Let's do this. Oh, let's do this. Oh. I don't know why I'm not getting it. But anyway, I have this. The form is 4868. Form 4868. And, I know why I'm not getting it. Silly me. So here's form, let's do this. Here's form 4868. And I'm bringing it up so you could see it's a fairly easy, simple form. This is mostly instructions. You'll see at the bottom here, what it asks you is, what's your name, your address, social security number here. And then they're going to ask you about your estimated tax liability. Because here's what most people know this, but many don't. And I'm often surprised that many people don't know this. But while an extension gives you extra time to file your tax return, it does not give you extra time to pay your taxes, right? So if you file an extension, you're supposed to pay your taxes by April 18th. And you can say, well, how do I know what the taxes are? Well, you have to estimate them. Most people estimate their taxes. They pay all year. We are on the pay-as-you-go program. And, you pay in, and that's why most people get a refund. So you can estimate it. If you overpay, you'll get a refund. If you underpay, you'll owe, and you'll pay a penalty on that, what they call failure to pay penalty. One thing about the extension, it's going to save you the failure to file penalty, but it will not. But the failure to pay penalty is still going to be out there. So that's this is the form. Now, here's something that most people don't know also. So let's go back. Here's something that most people don't know also is the IRS, and I've mentioned this on this show many times, about the IRS free file program, that if you make less than 70-some thousand, let's see if I can find that, because I have it on here, the free file program. If you pay less than, here, let's go back to the, if you make less than $73,000 a year, there's this program for free filing. And you might say, well, I make more than that, so I can't use that. But you can use the free filing to file electronically an extension. So you go to, and there's a link here in the description. Go to irs.gov/free file, and you can use that software to file an extension for free. So go to, again, irs.gov/free file. So that's good to know. And again, you can do that very quickly. You'll get it in by the 18th, and you will avoid a failure to file penalty. If you owe, you'll still owe a failure to pay penalty, right? And so that's there. And it's actually a big difference between the two, in the sense that they both are capped. They're both capped at 25%. But the failure to file penalty, I'm going to try to pull it up right here, is 5% per month. So a failure to file penalty. The failure to file penalty is 5% of the unpaid taxes. Let's go here. The failure to file penalty is 5% of the unpaid taxes. Here it is. Let's go to the top. Which will not exceed 25% for any portion of the month that you're late. So if you wait till October, you're going to be 6 months late, and you're going to pay the 25% in penalties. A failure to pay penalty, on the other hand, is 0.5% per month. Let's see if I can pull this up. Pay the penalty, this only has the failure to pay, the failure to file. But the failure to pay penalty is 0.5% for a month or any portion of the month, up to 25%. After up to 25% cap. Okay, so that's why you want to pay, right? Because that's why you want to get that extension file, because that's the higher penalty, and you'll pay based on how much you owe, right? If you don't owe anything, if you pay it on time and you pay it in advance and you don't file anything, you won't owe. So if you are a W-2 employee and you don't file on time, will you have a penalty? No, because you don't owe anything, and it's based on how much you owe. So if I have a refund coming and I don't file my tax return on time, I won't get a penalty because I've paid the taxes and I won't owe anything. So I think that's an important thing to understand. So anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about today. I thought it was important that we all know about the extension. You can get these extensions. Again, go to irs.gov/free file. You can get this form 4868. That's a fairly simple form. We pay it on time. Let's see what I should remember here. I don't want to let you go before we finish. So there's a good article here. I have it linked on the bottom here. Let's go to the article. So let's see what they have here. Where's the filing deadline? What's the tax extension? Oh, there are some states and things, some people that the disaster has given, and that's in the description. That some people, there's been some disasters, and they give them extra time to file their tax returns. We talked about penalties. So we covered everything. So anyway, I want to thank you so much for joining us. I think if you need an extension, don't wait till the last second, right? You know if you're going to get it done on time or not. Go get the extension. The easiest thing is just to go to irs.gov/free file. Get your, file it electronically. You don't have to worry about filling out any forms. You can fill it out online. It'll file it automatically for you. So that's what I suggest to do. Again, the failure to file penalty can get large fairly quickly. So take care of that. So I'm going to ask you to like and subscribe. We need your help to get this information out. So help us, please. Subscribe, smash the button, hit the notices. You can see every time we go live. I go live most Monday through Thursday. I'm going to ask you to remember, if you're fighting the IRS, if you don't know what to do, if you owe the IRS money, if you have unfiled tax returns, and a lot of people do, then you should go to freeirsbook.com. That's freeirsbook.com. Get a free copy of my book, Deal with Your IRS Problem Today. I will pay for the publishing. I'm going to ask you to pay for the shipping and handling. I shipped out a box today. The shipping and handling was over $10, but we ask you to pay less than $10 for shipping and handling, even though sometimes the shipping is more, because I include a bunch of bonuses in there. And you'll see the list of bonuses if you go to freeirsbook.com. Again, that's freeirsbook.com. Thanks so much for joining us here today. We will see you soon. In the meantime, we are